Why, hello everyone, and welcome to the stream. This is Takashibo. Today is Tuesday, February 28th, 2023. We have reached the end of February. Oh my goodness. And apparently, there is a new graphics driver available. Thank you for telling me about that. I will not be updating my graphics driver right now. So, there was a weekend. I played a bit of Factorio. I did a few things. Last we met, I set up Circuit 2's. Streamed about an hour later than usual, though we did have some internet issues last time. As it turns out, our lawn guy was here. And he did some trimming in the front with his little chainsaw that he's got. Did not cut cords, nothing like that happened. It just so happened that my ISP just freaked out on that day a bit and screwed up with upload rate and apparently download rate too. I was about at a third of my normal download rate as well on that day. But came back on Friday, streamed Kerbal Space Program 2 on its launch day. It was an utter train wreck of a launch into early access. It was not ready. It is not ready for its early access launch because of performance issues. We can't really test the game and find bugs if the game barely even runs in the first place. But yeah, folks have decompiled the game and had a look into it and found infinite numbers of polygons on stuff related to the planetary bodies in particular, and scatter, and even a bunch of the parts, the vehicle parts, have rather insane polygon counts. So yeah, that's what's causing all the performance problems. They need to optimize the polys. They need to kill a lot of polys. A lot of them, like tons. When individual trees have over 7,000, yeah, it's a bit much when you're trying to spawn literal thousands of trees on a surface without a way of actually turning them off. Because yeah, even the graphics settings in the game are non-functional. Yeah. I will say that they are non-functional because it's supposed to have the ability to turn off planetary scatter, and it very specifically does not actually turn off planetary scatter, which includes trees and rocks and all of that. It doesn't actually turn it off, even though you're trying to tell the game to turn it off. And borderless window doesn't work as borderless window. It works as full screen. It works as pretty much exclusive full screen, as in you have to tab out, and it minimizes the game when you tab out, even though you're supposed to be in a borderless window. So it's got some problems that need to be fixed, and there hasn't been a patch yet for the game, but it should eventually arrive. As for the weekend, not too much else to say, I guess. I continue playing Genshin Impact. There is a patch today later this afternoon, these servers will go down for the introduction of patch version 3.5, which is going to suck and be incredibly boring, more than any other patch ever, I think. The character that they are introducing, it leaves a lot to be desired, is going to be on the standard banner after this patch, and yeah, I don't need the other character on that first banner. It's not for like 3 weeks for the second half banners that I'm interested in any of it. So it's like, okay, sure, and the events are a little weak as well this time. So it's like, eh. At least they're giving everyone some free wishes at the right at the beginning. They're giving everyone the event wishes for completing story quests now. So every Archon quest that exists, you're going to get a intertwined fate for having done it. And this is retroactive for everyone that you've ever done. So I think it's something like 20 wishes, 22 wishes or so-ish that we will get just immediately upon loading up the game for the first time in the next patch. So it's gonna be great. There's gonna be a hangout event added, I believe. And I literally just finished the last one. The last ending of the last one that I had in the big long list that's taken me years to get through. Finally cleared it out. And now there's gonna be another one. Like, gee, thanks. Wonder how long it'll be until I do that one. So, all that said and done, let's get into the game. Let's turn on cat cam, even though there is no cat right now. They are arresting. Oh, right, I didn't actually hook up cat cam. There we go. That should do it. Turn on. There it is. In begin. And refocus. There. That is better, and then we can shut that off for now until there is cat. I had to use the camera yesterday because I did a few things yesterday that I needed to take pictures of. Oh yeah, I didn't mention the big thing, the big elephant in the room. Yeah, I need to go back here. We need to spend 1 minute here. I ordered a 4070 Ti graphics card. I ordered a new graphics card. It's not supposed to arrive for a little while, but just so as we know, I got a 4070 Ti. It was pretty close to MSRP for an overclocked version of the card. It had a coupon for like $30 off on it. Figured, you know what? I have a 1080 Ti. It's been iffy whether or not I would want to upgrade. It's just really expensive, especially since the cards are more expensive than the 1080 Ti was back then. And this new one is more than that. But I hate doing like inflation calculations because it's not actually valid for specific items. It is never valid to just apply a generalized average inflation measure to any individual product. But I did it anyway, and as it turns out, I did end up paying less for this 4070 Ti if I compared the price from when I bought the 1080 Ti in today's dollars. If you do that comparison from, I think it was 2017 when I bought the 1080 Ti, if I compared the price that I paid for the 1080 Ti adjusted for the inflation to today's money, the amount that I paid for this new card would have been a little bit less than back then. Still, I hate doing that measurement because it is not the full story. It does not tell you, like, average, like, inflation value itself tells you nothing about what's the story of any individual category of products value over time. Like, it is extremely disingenuous to compare the price of a video game from the mid 90s to now, for example, because it's very clear that inflation has not necessarily affected that category of product in that period of time. A $60 game then is a $60 game now. Like, there's no difference in what the value of the dollar was between then and now for that specific category of product, which is why they're trying to say, hey, it's time for the value to go up on these products. Why they want to charge more is because they see that the average of inflation has gone up, and they're like, okay, well, if it's harder to buy food now, if it costs more for food, then it should cost more for this. So, well, that's the other thing, is that wages don't necessarily increase with inflation. That's the problem. That's the problem. Inflation itself is fine as long as, like, wage growth across the board matches or exceeds inflation, ideally exceeds. There's no problems if that's the case. The problem is that that's not been the case these past few years in particular. Like, inflation isn't scary if wages go up with it. But they haven't, and that's why there's all these conversations about raising, like, a federal minimum wage, imposing a higher baseline wage, is because the natural growth of wages has not kept up with inflation. So it's trying to force that to happen. The issue there is that, well, then inflation is just going to keep rising, and so should then also wages, and there's literally no end to this. There's literally no end. It will go up and up and up into the stratosphere as time goes on. But as long as they're roughly equivalent, everything should be somewhat okay, I guess. So, things. That's what I wanted to say. I got a new graphics card ordered. It's going to arrive at some point. Have not done anything, put much thought into the idea of having a secondary graphics card for the stream at this point. That would be a bridge too far. At that point, I would need to get a new power supply. Because what I have is a 750 watt power supply, which is pretty much the bare minimum that I would need for my next graphics card. The difference is about 30 watts I saw on the power requirements from the 1080 Ti that I have to the 4070 Ti that I'm getting. It's from about 250 watt TDP to 280 watt TDP on the new card. It's also got the stupid new power connector, and it should come with an adapter for that power connector for two 8-pin power slots into the one, whatever, 12 plus 4 pin new thingy. Gotta be extra careful shoving it into the receptacle, because that's also been a problem with these cards. It doesn't have, like, proper feedback on the latch, so people have ended up with some damaged 4090s in particular because of improper installation of the power cable. It's also going to be a little bit longer than my current card and slightly thicker. It's going to be a bigger card. Fortunately, my desktop can fit this. It should be able to fit this new card just fine, and it will not cause issues on PCI slots either, because it's the same range in its thickness. It's only a few millimeters thicker, but it's still the card that I have is a 2.5 slot card anyway, so I'm already losing a third slot, and the new card isn't more than 3 slots, so it's still gonna like take up the same footprint in the case. But anyway, that is that. The card is about 2 times faster than my current one. I would have preferred 3 times before upgrading, but you know, I felt I had to at this point. I felt it's time. It is time to do it, and yeah. The unfortunate part is I've had to make this purchase on credit, and I will need to pay it back, and I am in the process of selling things to pay down this debt as best I can. So yeah, I will plan on selling the 1080 Ti that I currently have to help offset that cost, as well as a whole bunch of other things to pay off that cost and then some. So that's that. That's what I have to say about that topic. Yeah, every time I spend that much money, there is a certain level of anxiety that I experience in doing so. Even if I fully realize that this is a reasonable decision, if I have rationalized making the decision, it still doesn't stop me from feeling like utter garbage anytime I spend that much all in one go, and just knowing the implications of it, it's just feels really bad. It's happened every single time I've made a big purchasing decision. Anyway, game. We set up Circuit 2s last time here in Factorio. Factorio has no sounds. There's sounds. I don't know why. Something like is glitching out with the audio settings sometimes. I have nearly finished the building of this rail network at this point. There's still some ghost entities, still some areas where I will need to landfill to complete the rail sections, like here. But mostly done at this point, fortunately. We're nearly there. For the full current extent that I wanted to have set up. Yeah, so right now, the base around the middle point goes 5 to the left, 5 to the right, 5 up, and 5 down. That's the extents. So in total, it's a 12 by 12 grid. 12 by 12. And I wanted it to be squared off before doing any additional layers around it. Anyway, what did I do between streams? Just between streams, I did this. I added an extra set for power. I have also gone through all of my power sections and topped up the molten salt on everything. So I should have enough through most of them at this point. Apparently not on some of them. This is just because this is a 2-fluid system. I have to think about there being... Actually, it's a 3-fluid system, but it's cycling between 2 different fluids here. And it's a little difficult to tell sometimes if I have enough of one versus the other. But yeah, I've done that thing. Our power total is 36.2, gigawatts that we have available to us. Hope it's enough. Hope it will be enough. I would like to upgrade to Mark II before finishing setting up chemical science, but I realize this is likely not going to happen. So I did that. We did the circuits. Because I have the circuits, I now have modules. Modules. Only level 1 modules, as well as red belts. The entirety of red belts. And I have them on my hotbar now. I have put in requests for multiple items of these. So those are on their way, and I am making use of them where possible. What else have I done? I have set up a factory producing Mark II Kickalk somewhere here. This is a dedicated factory producing Mark II versions of Kickalk. This involved bringing in sulfur, bringing in some Kickalk itself for making CO2 from biomass, as well as Nexlit, titanium, cobalt extract, rare earth oxide, ash, and lamps. I have scaled the copper. I doubled my copper. Don't you worry, I doubled my copper. That was a limiting thing last time. I have taken care of the copper situation. We also needed refined syngas, aromatics, and some hot air as part of this process. So it needed acid gas and CO2. We needed to make cobalt fluoride for Flutec PP6. Glorious Flutec PP6. And rich clay from ash in here. And all of that gets put in to the plantations. We've got the fluids going in. Yeah, all of this from the cobalt fluoride for that stupid Flutec PP6. And it makes 1 per second of the Mark II modules. 1 net out per second of those things. It also has a byproduct of regular seeds for whatever reason. So I'm not using them for this purpose. Now, I could use these for the biomass down here, but I decided not to. Not for this particular circumstance. And with those modules, I have gone over to my Kickalk production, my primary Kickalk production, and downsized from over 500 plantations to 91 by completely rebuilding the entire factory and setting it to use fertilizer. Setting it to use fertilizer and ash, as well as biomass and lamps and clay and sand and seeds. Yeah, so it's a more advanced recipe in here now that is giving me an improved output with an improved ratio for what goes back into seeds. I'm also using it to make the biomass using the Kickalk produced here. And that is that. It is making a net 15 out for this factory size. If I need more, I can copy and paste this. I've made sure that my lamps are productive now, so I have set up productivity modules on the production of the copper cables at lamps. I have also set up a new factory producing 75 per second of fertilizer somewhere. I do not remember where. Here. New energy video about the energy stuff. I want to experience the whole of things before making any videos about the like new energy stuff, I want to experience the scaling and have access to the Mark 1 through 4 variants of all the things in a living save before thinking about doing any of those types of videos. Fertilizer 2. So over yonder, what do we have for fertilizer 2? Well, fertilizer, this recipe is productive. And it is eating up ash, biomass, seaweed, and urea. Ash, biomass, seaweed, and urea. Those are the ingredients for making this particular fertilizer. Where... Oh, you know what? I have it set at 15, but I just multiplied by 5. I just did it times 5 on this. So what we end up having here is 75-ish seaweed, less than 75 seaweed. Of course, if I hit 75 output, because I'm using productivity modules here, it's like 68.19. I built up to 75 on the seaweed. This is just a copy and paste in place build using Mark III modules for the seaweed crops. I can just do it wherever I need seaweed now, rather than bring it in by train. I am getting the biomass from Kickalk. I need bit. It's 136.4 biomass, which, you know, a red belt, a compressed red belt, is 150 items per second, by the way. It's twice the throughput of before. So, yeah, a stacked red belt can do 150, and guess what these two can make? These two can make 150, more than 150, actually. They do over 90 items per second of biomass per building. This may need to get tuned a little bit at some point. Just gonna throw this out there. We're spending 2 Kickalk, and we're getting 136.4 from 2 compost plants, really 1.47. Of course, you need to make the Kickalk. You need to spend resources to make the Kickalk. I do fully expect to get more output from this than, say, tar. It's just a little fast. I think it needs to be slowed a little bit. This should probably be a few more buildings to get that much throughput. Just a few more buildings, I would think, because this is... I will say that this is a little strong. It's a little strong. But hey, I got 75 per second of the fertilizer now to play around with. Speaking of which, I need to immediately begin because we are going to be short on time to do everything that I want to do today. I have been, just as a one last side note, I have been looking at mechanical part 2s and some of the things that I would need to set up for mechanical part 2s. I will need to make electronics 2s for these, and electronics 2s are stupidly expensive. It's extremely dumb. This is, like, the stupidest thing I have ever seen. Yes, that is 50 MOSFETs to make 1 unit of an electronics Mark II. That is 50 MOSFETs for 1 electronics 2. That is absurd. That is unacceptably bad. Same with the 30 electrolytic capacitors and the 15 medium power resistors. The only way that this is acceptable is if it gives like 5 to 20 electronics in the end. At minimum. Like, to keep these numbers, you're going to have to up that output from 1 to, like, way more than 1 on the output. That is not an acceptable, like, ingredient cost for those. Not even close. Anyway, you need them to make mechanical part 2s, and we need mechanical part 2s as an ingredient to make Pi Science 3, which will be our following science, but we also need it... we also need it in order to build the Mark II power plants. Which sucks. But yeah, we need it for that. They use mechanical part 2s and self-assembly monolayer material, which we will be making today. These are the only things locking the Mark II coal power plants at the moment. Don't need them for the power, the steam power, or the turbine. Yo, turbine. Excuse me? Oh, it's by ingredient. I want by product. Hey, this thing. Oh, well, it uses a whole bunch of parts that are involved in making mechanical part Mark IIs instead. So this is just a bunch of parts for it, as well as SAMM. Notice this self-assembly monolayer material. It's pretty ubiquitous in Mark II now. So we need to make as much of it as we possibly can. And I need to be able to make brakes, control panels, gearboxes, shaft Mark IIs, and utility box Mark IIs as well. The shaft Mark IIs are slightly problematic because they can only be cast in casting units. And I will need to set this up at the mall. In fact, I've set all of these up at the mall, plus have a separate factory making mechanical part 2s in the network. Exactly the same thing that I did with mechanical part 1s, where I am actually making all the stuff for and making mechanical part 1s in the mall and outside the mall. And that's what I have over here is some of the parts for making the mechanical part 2s. It's just that I need bakelite here, I need aramid here, I need the I need rayon, which we will make today. I need those electronics Mark IIs and all of the stuff. Well, I need electronic Mark IIs, probably were brought in by train. I will need Nextlit batteries. I will need this stuff called, I think, MIC. MIC, I think is what it's called. Or EVA, that's what it is. EVA. I will need EVA. Our glorious extravehicular activities. And I will need to bring in quartz ore. And I will need this new alloy. This Nextlit antimony alloy. Yeah. To get into all of that and to have it in here. So, realistically speaking, not that much to do to get into these. Not that much. The biggest part is going to be those electronics Mark IIs for the actual mechanical part 2s, but to make the other stuff that I would need for these turbines, I could have that today. So, what are we working on? We are working on getting into SAMM today. In order to make SAMM, I'm going to need rayon. I'm also going to need organic acid anhydride, and I'm going to need novens. So, we're going to set up all of this today. We'll start with novens. I have made initial novens between streams. They are here. I have 64 to start with. I have picked up noven culture. I have made noven cultures, Mark 1, which required circuit 2s. Just so as we're aware, this is a circuit 2 item, and I needed circuit 2s for the codecs for them. I just now need to get a spot to make these. I think it shall be right above circuits. Shall we do it above circuits over here, the circuit 2 line? I guess so, since I already have this built over here. What are we going to need to input? we are going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 solid ingredients. And I'm going to try to do this as quickly as possible, because we have to do this, we have to do the organic acid anhydride. Now, I will note that I have started mining geothermal water and providing it onto my train network between streams. I did that somewhere where I had a whole bunch of geothermals. I can find that here. Hi, there it is. It is in this square right over here, where I have 4 geothermal plants. We've looked at these before. Didn't really have it set up previously because I did not want to use it for power. It is not great for power production, so we're going to use this water as water. Just give it some pressured water. It mines the geothermal water, and I just have it on a train. Very super easy. So that solves pretty much the organic acid anhydride. I will probably need to mine more phosphate rock to support this, but I should have everything in here. It does use sulfur. I am inclined to make sulfur through PyAE for this, as I've been tending to do lately. But for this particular factory, I will make it. I will bring it in by train. For the other factory, though, I do plan on making it out of PyAE and making the PyAE local. Just like I did with my sulfuric acid build that I had done between streams. So we'll get to do this. I do have Mark II PyAE now. I did come over here and reduce the build by half with the new Mark II PyAE modules compared to what it was before. I absolutely could put productivity modules in these atomizers and further reduce the PyAE count. The problem is that these buildings would slow down and I would need more of them, and they would eat more of my raw coal in the process. Am I concerned about that? No. Not at all. I am not really concerned about raw coal getting eaten from extra power draw on machines. I am more concerned about the fluid fuels, and I've gone through several areas with fluid fuels, like down here, and put in efficiency modules. We get a 10% energy consumption reduction thanks to the power of efficiency module 1. And I have done this thing. What is your problem? Why are you not doing... Oh, hot air. Of course! Hot air. Always an issue. Always going to be an issue, likely, until I have red hot coke. The ability to do red hot coke. But anyway, stuff is moving. I will also mention that at Circuit 2's, I'm now producing everything with productivity modules that I can possibly do with productivity modules. I have gone across every step and added productivity to everything that I could possibly add it to in that chain. And I think in the end it's actually making a bit more than one, just because we have 2 buildings at the end, and you know, just a lot of these aren't using the full output of the 1 machine or the 4th machine or the 5th machine, so there's a little bit of wiggle room in here, I think, for it to output just a little bit more than the 1. But yeah, I did that there. I did that to optical fiber, and I've done it some other places as well. Anyway, stuff, things, this, move, build. Thou shalt build. It will probably be easier for me to work opposite to how I usually do for this. Because I need to make sure that I have 116 of these buildings. We are not throughput limited by any means. If I really wanted to, I could have a line that is 116 long. But we're not going to do that. No, no. Die, trees. Die! This is a, yeah, I marked these as trees because they were the, like, first sets of trees that I had found at the beginning of this map. When we started the game. I found them and marked them in case I needed more before setting up actual log production. Alright. So that's 10. That's 20. Whoops. That's 20. Okay. That'd be 30. How do I want to divide 116? I just do a search factors of 116. Oh. Four of 29? Yeah, that's the answer. 4 of 29. How many units long are the sides of my rail squares now? Units. Well, for the large intersection, there is a gap of 3 between intersections. So they're like 5, technically, I guess. 4 wide, maybe. You can consider them to be 4 wide, but there's... If I have this here, I have some near my mall. So this distance fits 3 evenly. And you can see that here. And that's the exact positioning on these intersections, on the verticals. So every vertical I've got 3 intersections. That's the exact midpoint of setting a large intersection. I did it very specifically for that reason. So it is 29. 4 by 29 that I'm looking for here. I'm out of modules already. Yay. Of course, we're on snow, which makes us really slow. Do I want to solve that issue? Because I've got a I've got a solution. Do I have other solutions? Am I only carrying those? Oh god, I'm only carrying... I'm only carrying Nextlit tiles. Oops. Well, let's do it anyway. God, I hate that sound. What is it considered? A walking sound? Yeah, let's be like, not better. FPS hit is just my life now, basically. So while streaming, the FPS in this view is about 42. If I go to the map and zoom out, it's going to be in the 30s, probably in the 20s now. Yeah, 20s to view the whole thing. In part due to the robots that are active. But also, when I have inventory interactions, there is a performance hit due to the amount of stuff in my inventory at this point. And it explains a fair bit, I think. Just the stuff in my inventory. So 2 belts of input and 1 belt of output. Okay, good to know. The performance will improve when I get access to better modules and Mark II buildings. Mark II buildings, better modules, beacons. Once I get these things, performance will improve again. The issue is getting there. Getting there is the biggest problem. Yeah, getting access to all level 8 Bob's modules, to the level 8 Bob's modules, that will be the big moment of acceleration times. Because right now I only have Mark 1, the level 1 Bob module access, and they aren't even baseline Bob module strength. They are, in fact, I think, vanilla, or they're whatever PyMods wants the actual strength of regular Mark 1 modules to be. So the productivity modules give 10% productivity in particular at level 1. Pretty sure that the boss modules are supposed to start at 5 and not 10, but I'll take 10. The next one is 20. It's 10, 20, 30, I'm pretty sure, at this scaling. 10, 20, 30. And then the level 4 goes back down to 20. Goes back down to 20. It's supposed to be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And here at the pure modules, it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So yeah, bit bit of a difference there. The efficiency modules don't change. The speed modules don't change. It's the productivity modules that are different. The first three have different values than I would expect for the BOS modules. But anyway, we need to get up to 40%. We need to get up to the plus 160 for free on the speed modules, and we need to get the minus 80 on the efficiency. We need all those level 8s. Glorious level 8s. Alright, well, that is one line of 4 that I need. Zoom. Yeah, level 1 modules, well, it's nice to have them. They are not the ultimate solution for me. It is very nice being able to reduce my consumption by 10% or improve my output by 10%. In general, that's fairly meaningless. Fairly pointless, that. But it's existent, and I will take it. So there's our 4 lines. Ugh. I wonder how much of this I have left. A lot. Okay. We're good. I like to move. Moving is good. I heard being able to move is one of the best things ever. Alright, so I will note here that this needs improved fungal substrate. I will also note that neither of these recipes accept productivity modules at this point in time. I'll also note that this improved substrate recipe has been changed compared to previously, our last time playing through this mod set before alternative energy. What has changed is that this no longer outputs empty petri dishes. The improved substrate and the advanced substrate recipes used to return empty petri dishes 1-to-1 to the amount of incubated petri dishes thrown at it. No longer the case. I will also note that because it was returning the petri dishes, that was why they did not take productivity modules in the first place, why that ability was removed. So now that they no longer return the petri dishes, they should absolutely take productivity modules again. The tech upgrade system is something that is being worked on right now, currently, so there is a chance that we shall see it. Are these doing the most advanced recipe? Yes, they are. Oh, 8-second craft time. Really? Huh. It's a guaranteed output, but it's 8 seconds versus an 80% chance at 5. Which that 80% chance of at 5 seconds is still better than the guaranteed one at 8. Okay. How much does this output? 0.16. Oh boy. Okay. That's those. Let's give everything power. Actually, hook it up. And put in a radar like here. Okay. Next, you. One, two, three input belts. Not that high of requirements. Right, water. I haven't done the water input. There you go. Okay, what do I need to do here? I need to do this. One in, one out. Need to make that stuff. Only need 0.58, so we're fine. This will meet up with something else. That's shared. That's one individual item. This is the logs. This is the kickalc. Kickalc. Logs. Logs are stacked. This will be bone, I guess. I don't think my bones are stacked. I'll leave a little gap just in case. This is a shared belt between the urea and the incubated petri dishes. I believe both of those are stacked. I know that the urea is. I have to check the incubated dishes. I'm pretty sure that the incubated dishes are stacked. So I have to unstack them both, share the lines, and down you go. Now we have that output. We'll share this line. And then I just need to bring in guts and fertilizer, and they will also share a belt. Pretty sure that the guts are stacked, but the fertilizer is not. Oh, what? What was this? Where are you again? Alright, Petri. Get all these requests in. Yuri is having a little bit of a hard time. Bones too? Huh. And logs? Oh boy. Huh. Bones are not stacked. Alright, I should probably move that a little bit out of the way. That should do it. Yep, that should do it. Just need to get the outputs sorted. Now, I shouldn't put them directly onto the train because I still need some to fill in the module slots on the buildings, but for now, I'm going to stick the train here, and then I'm not going to move the train. Now, interesting part is that you see all this? Yeah, my robots are going to fill those up as I passively make more from scratch. As I make them from scratch, they will be sent here from my mall. So some of my Constructo bots should go and take care of it for me. Oh yeah, have I mentioned that I have adjusted my blueprint for the square to absolute positioning, so I don't have to like worry about my placement anymore. It's just automagic, just literal magic. Places it exactly where I need it to be. For the specific placement of my current grid. That is a very tedious process, by the way, to get it to do that properly. Setting the grid size appropriately, as well as the absolute positioning, so that it tiles correctly. Since it's not perfectly square, I've got like little extra nubbins on the side, on the bottom, on here too. So it's more this way. So yeah, just having to take all that into account to get it properly set, and it does tile properly. Could I just set it to relative? Sure, but I would still have to manually start it. I would have to get pixel hunting for the exact position to start it, and then hold it down as I go up and over, and all that good stuff. Now I don't even have to do that. It's glorious. How's my fuel? Alright, well, I'll consider the nobbins done, and let's move on to the organic acid anhydride. Hello, welcome to the stream. I'm just gonna let my bots service this for a second while I figure out where I want to build my next factory. This is a relatively small factory, so I will do this right here. Just gonna wait a second for the bots to send me things. I'm gonna pick up what I've made of my modules. Of course, I'll pick up what I've made of those as well. Oh boy. Note I'm also making nuclear reactors. The vanilla nuclear reactors. These things eat up a lot of resources. Just as an FYI, they eat like 500 circuit 2s each. It's a few nuclear reactor components. Here, it's yeah, it's 500 concrete. It's 500 circuit 2s. It's 500 stainless steel, and it's 500 titanium plates. These numbers are off by like a factor of 10, to be clear. It's a little too high by about a factor of 10, but oh well. We only need one of them at this phase of the game, and they are only used for this phase of the game. Did I do particle accelerator? We cannot actually make particle accelerators quite yet, I think. I'm pretty sure I am missing a component. I am missing electric engine units. I need to make electric engine units. I could have sworn I have this here. I need to add productivity to everything on the line. Everything that takes them, anyway. But yeah, that's a factory as well. And this iron nexlet antimony special alloy, I need more antimony. I just straight up need more antimony. Because I do not have this production. Also, use gas. Use gasoline. So yeah, I just have to make this thing. It's not hard. I have all of the components to make it. I just need to make it. If I have time, I will make it. But for now, I want to get to SAMM first. Then I have to make these as I work my way towards the parts for mechanical part 2s. Since note, do I need a particle accelerator? I don't need one yet. I will need one here. I'll need 2 here. 3. In the process of getting into nuclear samples, yeah, I will need those particle accelerators. So that's part of the necessary progression. I will need to do electric engine units. Little disappointing that there's only like a couple of steps in here that use productivity, but oh well. Oh well. I should pretty much have everything I need. I'll need to like do iron ore dust, put that on the train network at some point. Everything else I have. I don't have industrial solvent, actually. I will need to produce that. I think that this is as broken down as I can get. Outside of like the vacuum and the water getting removed from this list. Yeah. This will be the last thing that we do to get into chem science. But yeah, I'm gonna need to make a few things before doing that. I want to I'm probably gonna hold off a little bit on the chem science for until after I like have the Mark II power production. Just because I know that as soon as I start processing science, I'm going to absolutely need all of the things. All of the things. All of the everything. I'll need loads more power. You. There. And I would like to have the vat brain stuff online for this science. And that just to make the vat brain building, that requires some things that I do not have right now. So where do I even? Do I even? I might not. So to make a vat brain, yeah, I need SAMM. I need a SAMM to make VatBrain biocomputers. Ugh. Right? I know Not Melon was here in the last stream as I was making Circuit 2s, asked, hey, do you have the VatBrain yet? And I'm like, dude, I don't even have Circuit 2s. I said, no, I don't even have Circuit 2s. I want to make the VatBrain stuff for chem science, but I can't do anything with VatBrains until after I have SAM, which means I had to have had Circuit 2s first. Since I didn't have Circuit 2s, there's no possible way I could have had VatBrains, because, you know, Novens. Because Novens suck and need Circuit 2s when they should probably only need Circuit 1s. To, you know, give people the choice. To give the choice. This factory is this. Organic acid anhydride. I need these things. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4 solids and 2 fluids. And then, of course, I need to make sure that I only feed those VatBrains when I start producing the next level of science. And then I have the labs organized for using, or for making the best use of those VatBrains. Where's the thingies? Thingies! Stuff. There you are. Okay, let us build. Time to build, time to build. Yes, back to Pyandons, the Kerbal Space Program 2. Yeah, I was definitely not alone in that. Like, I can accept that the performance with my current graphics card would be lower. Being sub 30? No. Like, I can accept it being about 30 to 40 at low graphic settings. That's, I can accept. It's a, like, aging graphics card at this point. But for it to be sub 30, and even people with more powerful graphics card are getting sub 30 when looking at the planets, and it's like, that's unacceptable. And if it's below 30 at any point for, you know, extended periods like that, just looking at a planet, looking at the ground. Yeah, looking at the ground, if your constant frame rate is below 30 on recommended hardware, that's unacceptable. Utterly unacceptable and bad, and the developers should be completely chastised for those issues. It is not okay. And from what I've seen on the Discord, the issues with the performance are quite literally amateur rookie mistakes. As if these folks that have been working on this have not actually ever done anything in the industry ever before. Right, this is gonna be 2 sets of these buildings, and I need to like filter. Is this pent? What is this? This is, yeah, pentasulfide. Yeah, and issues with staging. Now, the issues with like the staging thing, Quill 18 had that issue, by the way. I watched Quill's stream of it, and there was a point where Spacebar stopped staging on his day 1 stream of it. He was like, "Hey, Spacebar's not staging now." And I'm like, "Yeah, I had that. I had that issue. I definitely had that issue where Spacebar was not staging." Hello, Ollie. Welcome, kitty. The kitty hath arrived. Hey, big boy. Yeah, there's just some really basic stuff that's like not good. I need to get rid of that iron ore. Yeah, I will agree with what Quill said about the current state. He basically said that this is it seems like a contractually obligated release date. That it had to have been released for contractual reasons, and that it was clearly not actually ready for this release. Phosphate rock, sulfur. That should do it. The only thing is I do need to bring in... What are you doing? What are you doing? Trying to sneak? He's trying to sneak. Trying to get to the lap when the mic is in the way. Do you even deserve lap after what you did yesterday? Yesterday I was standing in front of my desk, and he comes up onto the chair behind me, and he decided that my back was a great place to stretch and claw. To just rear up, go up, stretch the back, and claw right into my back. If only it were the first time. It was not the first time. Nor will it probably be the last. He does this to our kitchen towels all the time. Every day. Every day. Our lower kitchen cabinets we have hand towels on those cabinets below the sink. Constantly find them on the floor from Ollie rearing up, putting his claws in and pulling them, yanking them down. Actually, those need to be reversed. Ahem. Power. I have coal power plants, Mark 1s. They take in stacked raw coal through deadlock stacking and produce hot molten salt from molten salt. It gets ash voided. That hot molten salt goes into heat exchangers, which need pressured water. It takes in the hot molten salt. It produces molten salt as well as pressured steam. The pressurized steam goes into the steam turbines. And the molten salt loops back into the coal power plants to make it hot again. And it uses a few lines of raw coal. Basically, this eats up 15 per second, I think, of the raw coal. So each one of these lines is about a yellow belt of throughput at max. So a yellow belt of raw coal per line. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. 4 sets of lines. 8 yellow belts per one. So I got a few thingies here. Oh, she just ran across. Hi, doll. And in the end, I have 306 steam turbines, able to make 36.2 gigawatts. Glorious gigs. Gigs of watts. Now you take in lard plus titanium. How much on a per building basis? Yeah, that's fine. Is it? Yes, because the fast inserters can do like 4.8 throughput. It's fine. Which means we need to start with lard plus titanium. Let there be lard. Let there be titanium. Okay. All right. Alright, that should be that, and that'll actually make those fatty acids that I need down here. For this, I need the phosphate rock, which is also stacked. It comes in stacked, so I have to unstack that. Then it's sulfur, which is not stacked, of the stuff that's on the train network. This is raw coal. Does not need to be unstacked. Then we have the geothermal water. And the phosphoric acid. That is my alarm to indicate that I am halfway through today's stream. This first one is the geothermal. And this one is the phosphoric. That is pretty much that. I just need to bring this up, and I need to switch this. Oh. Well, you know. There. That's good. Locomotive. That. Supply. Depot. Full cargo. Circuit condition. I'm only making 30, so I have to do, this. 30 times 120, say 4,000. Then I can tell it to go. And I believe that I did not set Novin's. And the anhydride. Okay, with that, I am making the pentasulfide. Those fluids should be here shortly. So that is that for this production and for this factory. I'm going to start making my way back to the mall, and I'm going to take a brief break. When I come back, we need rayon as our next item. So we're going to make rayon in a rayon factory. Yes, this uses a lot of sodium hydroxide, as well as a lot of sulfuric acid and a lot of urea. I will need to scale these things between streams, but oh well. I will have existent rayon, quite a bit of it too, for this particular factory. I don't need this much right now. I do need at least like one. Should I scale it down for the sake of time? You know what? I am going to scale it down for the sake of time to one, since I don't need it right now. I will need more when I upgrade batteries. But for now, I will do one. This will be a faster build because of it. I can scale it later. But anyway, I will be back in a few minutes. I have returned. Welcome back. Just heading back to the mall area now so we can restock. What is the situation like at the Novins currently? They haven't made any. Why? This is not moving because this is not moving because that's not powered. Oh, hi. Yeah, that would help if I actually had biomass. Whoopsies. Oops. Oops. Yeah. They sorta need to have the stops. Hello, Ollie. Hey, big boy. Yeah, coming back. He has to always follow wherever I go. Wherever I go, he's always following. He is definitely a shadow. Ah, da, 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 da. I should have all these buildings on me. It's just I want to have my belts restocked and my poles restocked and all that. And I, of course, want to keep on grabbing more modules. All the modules all the time. Even though I fully understand that, yeah, this more than doubles the energy consumption of any factory that is using these productivity modules. Ahem. And we already have a little bit of an issue with power. I would absolutely love to put productivity on every single one of my science lines. That is on the agenda of things to do. But how many? That's a lot of steps. But the actual train station for this is not particularly that large. One of the rare occasions where we'll end up having, I believe, a larger build than the train station itself in terms of number of steps. I don't want to build this here. Not really. I'd rather it be here. Oh right, this is open. I can't have Helmod open. And navigate my locomotive. Oh yeah, I did this. I did this between streams too. I've started mining uranium ore. Yeah, because I've got the sulfuric acid on the train network now. So I figured, you know what? Let's just mine some ore. I am mining a belt of the ore. I do not need a belt of the ore. I will not need a belt of the ore for my nuclear samples. I will need a whole 0.22 of the ore for the nuclear samples that I will need for the 1 chemical science per second with productivity. BTW, I did do productivity on this plan already. The issue is going to be some of these other things where I am going to need more than 10 automation science, because I need a 0.07 here of the automation science. So I need to set it at like, I don't know, 11, just do a +1 on automation for this phase of the game. This is the end of the game. This is what I will need at the end of the game with full level 8 productivity modules on all of the steps just to get this automation science. Yeah, that's 769.3 native flora per second. Hello, doll. Yeah, this should probably be like 11, and then full productivity brings these numbers, which are pretty reasonable numbers in all actuality. This is pretty reasonable numbers. That's 10. That's 1. This is pretty reasonable numbers for 11. Yeah, baby. We don't have a kitty on the other camera, but we've got this kitty. Yeah, licking. He's licking. Yeah. Okay. My train is rolling. Still on its way. Yeah, so this is what I'll have to do here. What were the other numbers for the other things? I forget completely. How much Pi Science 1? 6? This can be productive. Cut that down by 10%. And then 3. Is it 10-6-3-2-1? Yeah, 10-6-3-2-1 is what we're planning for at the moment. We need the turret upgrade system to add productivity to the gene lab at some level of science. I don't think it would be available at this point in the game, but yeah. Turret upgrades would give productivity to the gene labs eventually, even if the recipe doesn't take it normally. Yeah, my concern is the battery requirement here. And then the Pi Science 2, I would need to. This is what those numbers would look like when under productivity modules. So I would need I need to scale the casein for this, and the good samples, because I think I'm at 0.1 total. I need slightly more than that. This can also be done productively on many of the steps needed to get into these good samples, and I would set it to like 0.2 at this point. Would need to scale archods, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I need more archods. So, yeah, lots of work ahead of me getting into the blue science. I will definitely not have chem science this week. As much as I would have liked to make chem science on Thursday, I don't think I will do that. Thursday is going to definitely be a day that I work on the nuclear samples. I would like to work on having the nuclear samples, but I won't be assembling everything together for a little bit of time yet, because I do want to get the scaling that I want done for the other sciences, and to do the vat brain productivity gains. So I would need to make those vat brain cartridges. I would need to calculate how many I would need to make per second, and then make them and set those up. If I do not get to electric engine units today, I would want to probably do that first thing Thursday. But yeah, this rayon... What are we looking at here? We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 solids. And 2 fluids. Alright. So this factory will be fairly tall. So since I'm in this position where I'm blocked at the top, I'll have to do what I did last time with the Novens, and build this in reverse, or from the end back. And I need to leave enough space for scaling later, potentially. Because I will need more batteries, and I will absolutely want to set things up in such a way that I can make more rayon for them. Alright, that'll do. I just need 3 solids in. Great. Wonderful, 3 solids in on a building with all these pipes. There's power to the everything. You know what? Let's just make sure I run the belts. That'd be great. And hey, if I need to upgrade the belts, I can. That's the wonderful part about this current phase of the game, is that I absolutely have access to plenty of red belts when I need them, or any circumstances where I need to upgrade in place. That is absolutely an option for me. Alright, you are using efficiency modules. Yeah, because they use a lot of power by default. We absolutely need that minus 10% for centrifuges. That's one of the best uses of the efficiency modules, especially since these do not take productivity modules either. I will need to deal with the biomass from this. I will need to get rid of the biomass, so that is a thing. I am absolutely going to move this down. Just a bit. I'm going to stick boilers. I mean, you can use productivity in a lot of processes, just not all of them. But yes, I would absolutely say that there are absolutely recipes that should absolutely take productivity modules that currently do not, and there's no good reason why they do not. They really need to. Things like this recipe needs productivity, but pulp mills disallow productivity modules on a building level limitation, or maybe they removed it. Maybe they removed the building level limitation. They just have none of the recipes using productivity. I know there was a building limit on pulp mills, but it looks like this particular recipe is not set to take them. This does not take them when this absolutely should take them. Rayon is absolutely an intermediate product. Fiber and raw fiber are absolutely intermediate products. They should absolutely be taking productivity modules, and yet they don't. The only recipes that should not be taking productivity modules are end products, actual end products, like infrastructure and robots. Though for a time, you could use productivity modules on robots production. Might still be the case, I don't know. But the only other circumstance besides end products would be anything having to do with fluids on output. Anytime you output fluids, or anytime you have a system where you could do fluid in, fluid out over a couple of steps. So there's some reprocessing of fluids that exist, where there are recipes that make a fluid and then recipes that decompose the fluid into the parts that could make the fluid again. Yeah, cannot have productivity on those setups, or else you could just make things from nothing. There were issues with that where you could absolutely make specific fluids from nothing through the power of productivity loops. Slaughterhouses were part of the turret upgrade system and absolutely had productivity for that, where you are upgrading the slaughterhouse to reduce the inefficiencies of the slaughtering. Yes, I can absolutely have a logical argument for why slaughterhouses should allow productivity. Because there is always inherently waste when you slaughter things that can be improved by adding these productivity modules. You can improve their productivity and increase their work efficiency. That is absolutely a thing that should be possible. Anyway, what is the next step here? I've done that and that, pretty much. So now we're on this set of 15. And this was going to make 30. I'm going to do this as 2 lines. Whoops, that is too close. I hate these buildings, by the way. They're too tall, just like all those other buildings that are too tall. I never understand the actual bounds of these buildings by sight. I always get it wrong. Alright, now how much input each? Very low? Yes, very low. Now I am using loaders specifically for belt compression reasons. No other reason besides that. It's just for belt compression. Inserters can be sloppy with belt compression, in my experience, so if I do need to upgrade this to a red belt as I extend outward, when I scale this eventually, I will absolutely want to have those loaders there anyway to get that fully compressed amount, because when I had this set to 5, remember it says 30 raw fiber here. Yes, this is with the reduced animation frame mod. This is the performance. Remember that the reduced animation frame mod really only impacts the amount of VRAM that gets used. It doesn't necessarily impact FPS, UPS that particularly much. Which I do have 11 gigs of VRAM. It's not using all of it right now. And soon I will have 12 gigs of VRAM. Oh boy. That's gonna be fantastic and glorious. I'm currently using 6.7 of my 11 gigs of dedicated GPU memory. One, two, three. I'm at 4. I have 4 science packs. I am working on the 5th. Yeah, I'm at 4 and working on 5. More specifically, I am 35% of the way through the tech tree. Ooh, I like when I see one-to-one relationships. Ooh, but these buildings are very different in size. Yeah, a lot of this is Factorio's inherent inefficiencies in how it operates. This is very much a CPU limitation, not a GPU limitation. And considering that I'm on one of the best CPUs, not like current gen, but last gen, top end, this is a AMD 5800X. Not the 3D version, though. The not 3D one. Right, when I was doing this... Do I need CO2 for anything in here? I don't think so. So all this gets deleted from the face of existence. So this is probably going to be the most time on a single build today, making the rayon, because the next part, actually making the SAMM, is a smaller overall build, I think. It's a bigger train station, but it is a smaller factory. There's fewer steps in it than this one. But I will absolutely make a attempt to build all of this within the next hour. Alright, you are outputting slowly. You need one solid input. Okay. Oh, you need a bit more throughput than that. Alright, so that'll be the sodium sulfate and the sodium carbonate. Now to make the carbonyl sulfide. This needs a couple of inputs. I'm going to put blues here. Not that much per thingy, but oh well. Propene gets used here. I need one of these buildings for now to make the propene. This eats up lead. Needs steam. So I gotta make steam. Do I have that? Yes, I have that here. Make steam. Steam, glorious steam. Why did I not... Alright, I'll do this one next, this step. Hello, welcome back as a member. Thank you for continuing your membership. We'll see if Streamlabs is awake. Yo, Streamlabs, are you awake? Streamlabs, are you functional? I guess not. Log out of Streamlabs from desktop, log in with YouTube. That account, that account. Recent events. No, it's not. It's not there. There it is. Hi. That wakes it up on occasion. Thank you so much for returning. Continuing your membership. Yeah, Streamlabs is just like not ideal for YouTube. It does not behave. I'll note that my situation with Streamlabs is a little bit unique. It's different, I guess. Something that is wrong with it, I guess, with my type of account. Because I have my channel set up as a brand account on YouTube, which, by the way, also means that I cannot ever receive gift subs on any channel that I watch on YouTube. Thank you, YouTube, for this restriction. Thank you so much for this restriction. They specifically do not allow brand accounts to receive gift subs for whatever reason. So this goes up to this guy. And I think that that's part of what's going on with Streamlabs, but I don't know. YouTube just, its API does not behave very well with Streamlabs, I guess. Anyway, I need to do this next. Set up the ammonia. The ammonia is like at the very, very tail end, the last rayon step up here. Way up here. There you go. And then all this, right. How much sulfur is being used again here in this rayon factory? 1.42 or 1.52? F it. F it, F it, F it. I'm not gonna build all that just for 1.52 sulfur. That changes like nothing, by the way. That changes like nothing. Because I'm still gonna need to bring in the rock hole, still gonna need to bring in the coke. It just switches Faugi to sulfur. And it saves me a few steps here. For now. When I need more sulfur, I may consider the local Faugi, or I'll just have a sulfur factory, you know? Or I'll just copy this. I'll just copy this whole thing. And that's 75 sulfur per second in its own dedicated factory. You know? Because I planned this out for making sulfuric acid based off of using 75 sulfur per second. I could just make it out of Faugi, it's fine. But I do still need to do some coal processing here. I really should do this separate, make a factory producing coal, but no. But no. Doop. Doop. Yep. Up. Coal dust. Coal dust. Where is coal dust? There you are. Go that way. Horse coal. Whoops. One tile. That should be that. I just need to do... a little bit more complex this time. Do I have voiding? No. I need to do a voiding line. You know, input first. Bring this lower. Then do the voiding line here. I need to move this out of the way. This will be producing ash. I don't really need this setup type if it's producing ash. I could do something a little bit more efficient, but whatever. Don't think I care. Give everything power. Everything has power. Now to do train station logistics. Okay, what do I need first? I need coal first. Raw coal. Oh, I need to bring the... You know, it would help if I brought the coal up. Right? The coal needs to go into here. And it's coal plus sulfur. That is not the correct thingy. There you go. Right on. On. Okay, rock hole. Come on down. Next, second item, I suppose, is the urea. Yet another urea requester. Lots of requests on urea right now. I am making 75 urea. And yet, it's not enough. At least it's supposed to be 75. Huh. I guess I don't quite have enough manure. Is this a transportation issue? This is a transportation issue. I don't have enough trains moving manure. Why, hello, Ollie. Why, hello, you brought Dolly's baby. Why'd you bring Dolly's baby? Why'd you bring Dolly's baby here? Big boy. Yeah, big boy. Yeah, it's your tongue. Licking? Why you licking? Why you licking, Ollie? Next is sulfur. Da 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 ba da ba da ba da ba ba. And that should be... Oh no, next was technically supposed to be lead. Oh well. So this is sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide, lead. Hello. Welcome. Whoops. We've got sodium hydroxide. Probably not going to want to do that unstacking here when I scale this, but for now, I'll leave it. Lead, and then the last solid input is what? Coke? I'm short one. I'm short one. I miscounted. I absolutely miscounted. I have Helmod. And I have actual craft time. I have installed max rate calculator in the past, and I never used it because I never needed to use it. That's the best answer I can give, frankly. I don't use it because I don't need it. All right, what's next here? Oh, I need a urea directly for you as well. So I need to split that. Yeah, and I need to bring this to here. I need to bring this up. I guess urea will live with you. That's sodium hydroxide. Where's the urea? Urea's here. That doesn't go anywhere. That does nothing. Yeah, I get rid of that completely. You. And you. And this. And this. What is this pipe? Oh, the urea, that's fine. So I need to bring up these two pipes. And I need the carbonyl sulfide. Hello, welcome. Ah, my allergies today have not been kind. So the right side is the sulfuric acid. That will be here. And that'll probably be this pipe. And this one is the syngas. Whoops. Name? Oh, okay. Our sulfuric acid at rayon. I am in Virginia. That's where I'm from. Well, not like originally, but that's where I am. Sulfuric acid. Best thing I can say for starting out in the full Pi suite is take your time. Break down everything by individual steps and start chewing through them. As long as you understand that there's going to be a nearly infinite number of steps that you need to get through to complete the game. As long as you do at least one step, focus on one step at a time, should be possible to get through it. Use Hellmod. Use a factory planner of some description. That's probably for the best. Make sure you know how to use them. I did not use Hellmod or Factory Planner in my first playthrough of the game of the Pi suite, but at the time, Pi Alien Life did not exist, nor did Alternative Energy. So, you know, a couple of rather big additions have happened since then. I would say absolutely use Helmod. Don't try to calculate the pi raw ores uh, ore chains by hand with the loops. Don't try to calculate the loops by hand. I totally did that. I was accurate in my calculations for the most part, but yeah, don't waste time doing that. Focus more on the building aspect. Builds. This should be done, by the way. I should be finished with this at this point. As soon as the syngas and the sulfuric acid arrive, I should absolutely have the things. Oh, this is in the reverse. This is reversed of what it should be. Oops. Yeah, that's better. Okay, I just need to get a train on the rayon, and then we can move on and work on SAMM, and we have half an hour to build a SAMM factory. S rayon, D rayon, full cargo, circuit edition, limit you to like one stack, I say. Auto magic. Define. Rayon. Okay, that is that. Whew. I hope it's moving. We have syngas. We have sulfuric acid. You've got sulfuric acid. This propene is moving. Carbonyl sulfide is moving. The yes, the carbonate stuff is moving. So that is rayon, therefore also moving. Excellent. I need to get over / back to my build here. So what do we have? We have 100, 454, 454. Yeah, I think that's going to be enough to fill this out. So I need to finish filling out the novens and then figure out where I'm going to put the build for the self-assembly monolayer material. I don't think I need to restock for this, but I should probably once I get my novens set finished. Because this is 17 items of inputs for this factory. It's a really big train station for a relatively small factory. $17. Trying to think exactly where I want this. Oh yeah, here's my new molten copper production. I just stuck it right next to localized mining. And it makes enough. It makes enough. That's all I can really say. It is enough. I will do this here. And then place all the things. Hope I have enough stuff. How are my constructo bots doing? Need to do that. Constructo bots are doing, that's for sure. This might be a little bit of a problem, but they'll get there eventually, I think. don't think I'm stuck anywhere. Yeah, I think I'm good for the most part, just waiting for the bots to finish. Alright, you. Bonk, bonk. You go. I should have enough nobbins to fill in these requests. It's 4 per building. With the current mark levels. The number of module slots goes up with increasing building mark level for the Alien Life buildings. Which, even to make the Mark II versions of these things, I'm going to need to make neuroprocessors. And I was thinking I could technically do neuroprocessors right now before chem science, but I would rather have chem science and then make the neuroprocessors with some of the chem techs, because it's not necessary to get into chem science to make neuroprocessors. I will need to make them. It's just I don't need them going into this next science. Alright, that is done, which means this should now be fully producing the whatever amount I targeted, like 5, I think. 5 is what I targeted per second on the Novins. So not an insignificant amount of production there. Unfortunately, they only atomize to, like, raw coal, which is, like, the dumbest thing ever. Novins as an ingredient. What do you do? Oh, they're iron-enriched biomass. Like, what? I spent all this stuff just to get iron out of you? Like, nah. Nah. Now, they are used for gold-enriched biomass, in which case that is something I would very much consider doing. They are needed, the spores are needed for the sporopollen. Where is the atomizing? So they atomize to titanium and tin and coal. Or not useful. Not useful atomization. They're needed to feed numols. They're needed for some later Arcod recipes. They're needed for antelopes, Vonix, Strondrix, Mark II Vatbrain cartridges. I need to figure out how many brains I'm making currently. It should be at least 3. I think it's at least 3, maybe 4. Depends on how many Zipier I'm processing. How many Zipier are getting slaughtered? At least 1.5, I think? Something like that? Yeah, it's 1.5, so that's, so there's 1 AUG, 1 Ulrich, 1.5 Zipier, and a Trit. I think it's 1 Trit processed. I'm trying to remember if it's the full 1 or if it's half. It's at optical fiber. I think it's half, but I think all those brains are being processed into lard and not actually being put out as brains, so I can ignore the trits. So it's 3.5 brains per second total in the base right now for production. Pretty sure, because you don't get brains from I don't think you get brains from... Oh, you do. You do get brains from Vrauk. Huh. I might have to shove some Vrauk brains onto the network. Yeah, because I have potential brain production off of Vrauk if I really need it. Anyway, this is a big train station, so let's focus on that. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I didn't break down the pentasulfide. Ew. All right then. I will need more inputs. I should add both. I should add both those recipes. To save on the sulfur in. We now have 20. 18. We now have 18 total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 solid input stations. Plus 1. Hate when it does that. We're at 14 and this should be 15. Yep. So I need a plus 1 because I need a solid fuel. Yeah, I need a solid fuel to get rid of the iron ore byproduct. Unless I wanted to add a output from that other, from the organic acid hydride area. Because I think that was the place that I built the thing, at the pentasulfide before. We're not done with this station quite yet, because I do need to add another 1, 2, 3, 4 fluid inputs. My concern is the the combinators. And having enough combinators. See, I didn't have enough combinators. Don't start this. Don't start what? Are you telling the person not to start full pyandons? That's their choice, not yours to make. I'm gonna cheat slightly, maybe. Nah, I'm gonna restock. I'm gonna go and restock, and I'm gonna, like, build while restocking. That's what I'm gonna do. Use my infinite reach. Hope I don't make an error in the process, because I have to physically be here to fix errors. Alright, self-assembly monolayer material. We need radar coverage. We need lots of radar coverage. Oh boy. Yeah, so bigger station than factory. I'm gonna build this here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll need to place those manually. 1, 2, 3 belts of input. Ollie is snoring. Ah yes, this one. This uses the trichlorosilane. And unfortunately we consume the stuff for it this time, rather than have any loop backs. Alright, there we go. That'll be that. Next, I need wet scrubbers. Do I has? I has, okay. Alright, wet scrubbers, the wettest of wet. How are my bots doing? Have you brought me the thingies? Yes, you have brought me the thingies. I could head back now, so I will. Right, wet scrubbers, you're making PTCDA. Parylene tetracarboxylic dianhydride. Yeah, that's the stuff. That's the stuff we're making here. And yes, I understand that this is going to be one of these on this side and these on this side. Yes, don't you just love chemical names at times? It's parylene, tetra, carboxylic, dianhydride. Yes, dianhydride. Oh boy. Next. This guy. Yeah, this is a little bit faster building this way than having me sit here, stand, run, do stuff. Whoops. Oh, yeah, I'm also close enough now I can manually place things down here. I think I'm just going to go with this. Building in this way. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, so 2 input belts. Probably easier if they're on this side. Hello, Ave. Welcome. I am making my self-assembly monolayer material. We are on our last step of the day. Just gotta get this factory done. 2 belts in, 1 belt out, plus fuel. Oh, hey, I can actually see the belt. Isn't that glorious? That is aligned. That is not good. How many input belts? Again, on this one, same as before. Five of these. What orientation do I want? That one. That should work fine. It does have a solid input, though. I can go this way. Yeah, that should work. Next, 29. Yeah, this recipe's very, very slow, unfortunately. Yeah, I have to go manually. I need vision. I need vision. Oh, I need this building. Well, that sucks. That is not good. And that just connects all the pipes together on the inputs. Then I have to make the inputs. And, yeah, we're actually almost done. There's a couple more steps. I gotta pick up these buildings, though. And do all the actual logistics. This is not any solids in here, nor is this thing. Yeah, so I need 12 of this. Oh boy. In, out, out. Would it be better if this? It does not spare me anything because I still have the other doohickey, so whatever, it's fine this way. Alrighty then, 12. I suppose every other one I could have had a tile closer, but whatever. How many is that? 12! I can count. Oh joy. Oh bliss. I need to dump that stuff. Alright. I shouldn't have done this way. Oops. As there's totally 4 fluids, buddy. There are 4 fluids. So yeah, it probably would have been a little bit easier the other way, but oh well. We're fine. Everything is fine and awesome and magnificent. I'm not getting rid of that. Yes, I am. I will be overproducing the tall oil, so I have to overflow void the tall oil. This was all to make benzene, by the way. The only reason any of this existed was to make benzene. To use for the parylene. Perylene. And I guess I'm going to copy from where we were here this organic acid dianhydride. What is your problem? Oh, right. Steam is vent. I forgot that steam is vent. You know... Yeah, that would help too. That would help too. Okay. Good thing I was looking over there. That I had to look this way. Oh, these don't have productivity. We need our productivity. It is still 5 and 3. But we are now productive. Five on the one that makes the pyrite, and then 3 on the one that processes it. Yeah, and then I need a voiding line. Like here-ish. To crush, kill, and destroy. The ore. The iron ore. Okay, all that's left is the final logistics, which is probably going to take a lot more than 7 minutes, but eh. But eh, whatever. It'll take what it takes. That should be it for power. I need to restock on those buildings. And I need to finish building this stuff. So I'm gonna build this infrastructure. Place down all these buildings that I currently have. Then I'm going to restock. Then we're going to work on the train station. Because that is SAMM. Theoretically, that should be SAMM. I just need to get everything brought in, put in their respective locations, and do the final inter line logistics. So we're almost there. We're almost there. And SAMM is the final thing that I need for some Mark II items. Not the absolute final thing for all Mark II items, granted, but it is a unlocker specifically for advanced locomotives. The advanced locomotive requires the following items. It will need brake Mark IIs, gearbox Mark IIs, and shaft Mark IIs. I am very much considering making these off-screen, so I can begin the process of upgrading to advanced locomotives. I need to look at the wagons to see what they may also need. But yeah, this is pretty much the last thing I need to make. Advanced cargo needs brakes, shafts. That's the only thing unique to that. The brakes here, I just need to bring in like aramid fiber and bakelite. I need to somehow figure out what I'm going to do to bring in bakelite. That'll be the brakes. And then the other stuff. Where's the other stuff here? Let me just put in a temporary thingy. Where's the locomotives? What tab? Industry items. Why am I blind? There. So these things, just ignore the numbers. I just want numbers to exist. Yeah, so brakes, gearbox, shafts. The gearbox needs that stupid alloy, next-lit antimony alloy. But that's not bad to make. We've seen making of alloys, and we've seen the ingredients that make this alloy before. There's nothing too new here. The shafts eat molten stainless steel and regular shafts, which is more iron next-lit antimony special alloy. But yeah, I definitely want to do this like as soon as possible to get the advanced locomotives going. Especially to like have for me to have. I want to move faster around my base. That sounds great to me. That's an extra. Okay, we have the buildings. The buildings are built, and the buildings are backwards. Yes, that's better. That is better. Logistics! We need our logistics work done. Oh, Bob, meow. Meow. Yes, miss. Mrs. Cat. Mr. Cat. It's sleepies. Sleepies for the babies. Okay, let's get to it. I'm just gonna say supply SAMM. Depot SAMM. Alright, what are we starting with? I guess we'll start with the raw coal for the voiding line up top. I'm not going to put all the ingredient requests in quite yet. This line goes up and over. So this is the phosphate rock. Which is stacked. This line is sulfur, which is not stacked. Next, I need the tar in. Wonderful. Wait, was that even the correct? Yes. Alright, then there's nothing until here where I need silicon. Am I stacking my silicon? I think I am. Place the thing. And I need to vent that hydrogen. Okay, that'll be that. I have to hook this up where it's supposed to go. Down here. Somewhere over the rainbow. For this setup. Oh. Did I not hook up the benzene? No, not yet. Alright. Well. This is the benzene. And it looks like I've also got a tar input here. Which that's tar. Plus benzene. Organic acid anhydride comes in from probably... Alright, so this is gasoline. And this is organic acid anhydride. And then gasoline, I guess, will go this way. Draw this line. Okay, that's all the fluids. That should be taken care of. And all the fluid pipes should be done. The next solid inputs are chromium, moly, and nickel. chromium, moly, and nickel. All should be stacked. What do I want sharing? Guess it does not matter. And then you are niobium, aluminium, titanium. Neo, aluminium, titanium. Okay, those feed those two things. These solids. Is there another solid I need up here? Yeah. Yeah. These will share. I think I need both of these stupid alloys together. The pentasulfide is used here. And I can put that right in there. So now I need Nexlit and Novens. Okay, with Nexlit, I'm probably gonna want to not share that with the Novens immediately. Three? Yes. Filtration media plastic. Okay. Now, Nexlit is stacked. Novens are not. I don't remember filtration media. Plastic is. I don't remember. Pretty sure rayon is not. Okay. So you are Nexlit Novens. What a wonderful spot to choose, huh? Yeah, these will share. This will share with that, and I guess rayon's on its own. Actually, make that the internal belt, and make this rayon. Yeah, that seems best. Okay, bring stuff to me now. Organic acid anhydride, gasoline, hydrogen chloride, tar, rayon, plastic. Is plastic stacked? Plastic is not stacked. Filtration media is not stacked. Nobbins. Nexalate plate. Titanium. Aluminium. Niobium. Is niobium stacked? I don't remember. I think so. Could be wrong about this one, though. Let me trim that just in case. Molybdenum. Is not stacked. Okay. Chromium. Silicon. Sulfur. Phosphate rock. And rockle. Okay, we're gonna have to wait a little bit for the phosphate rock and all that good stuff, but yeah, we are quite a bit past now. That is this stuff done. I will just throw it out there. This is done now. We have SAMM. I'm gonna call it. We've got it. The factory is built. It is done. I have nothing more to add to it. Just gonna run the belt up to the supply station. And load up a train. Load up a train. If there are errors, I will fix the errors between streams. I don't believe that there are. But you never know. There might be something with stacking. Supply. Depot. Said depot. Hold cargo. Circuit condition. Automatic. Define. Define as SAMM. Save. And we are finished. We are done. I am declaring right now. I am done. That is it. That is all for today's stream. We have obtained SAMM. We obtained rayon as well, by the way. We got the various components needed to make SAMM on this day. Whoops. Power is everything. I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been a Talking Show, but if you have enjoyed today's stream, please be sure to do all of the social engagement stuff down below the video. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you have not yet subscribed, and hit the notification bell. Consider becoming a member of the channel by hitting the great big blue join button and supporting on Patreon at patreon.com/talkingshit. If you are so inclined and able, I will be back with more of this on Thursday. I do hope to see you all then.